Hey, so you're probably asking yourself, what is the Bardo and how does it relate to chronic illness? So, Bardo is a Tibetan word. It literally means between 2 points. But most commonly, it's translated as intermediate state, which is this notion in Buddhism that there is this space between death and rebirth. And what's important about the Bardo, of which there are actually 6 different ones, but that's not really pertinent to what we're talking about. What's important about the Bardo as an idea, as this period, this space, is that during this interregnum, the capacity for awakening, which is to say, the attainment of enlightenment, is heightened. So the Bardo is an opportunity. It's scary, or it can be, because it's totally unfamiliar to your human experience. But there is a possibility in it for great change, for great transformation. So what does that have to do with chronic illness? Well, I've kind of come to think of chronic illness as its own sort of Bardo. It's a period that is, when you have it, you know you don't feel normal. You know things are different. It's not like your old waking life, but you're not dying either. So it's sort of between these 2 points of normality and, I guess we could say, finality. But what's important about it is, during chronic illness, I feel you are pushed. You are you're subject to a great deal of suffering. You're pushed into a great deal of discomfort. Things are different. You have to adapt. You have to, because in a way your old life has died, and it's uncomfortable to think about that, but for a lot of people, it has died. That doesn't mean you can't be reborn into a wonderful new life. Certainly, I think that's the goal for all of us. I think we should all be striving for that. But it's difficult. It's a period of great difficulty, depending on what you're experiencing. And it's a period that can be incredibly frightening. But it's in that difficulty that we can, I think, we can change for the better. Because when things are going our way, when everything is hunky-dory, you're not thinking about how, you're not trying to change it. I would think most people are trying to keep things as they are because they're good. But when happiness, when contentment, when just being pain-free, when you have to struggle for these things, strive for these things, and really make an effort, really, because the light of the outside world has, in a sense, dim, you have to build that light within yourself to chase away the darkness of what has fallen upon you. And I think that, that's how chronic illness can act as a Bardo, because and apologies if I'm repeating myself. As you can tell, I'm walking outside and having to concentrate on walking while also thinking about deep philosophical concepts, and also trying to keep this under really 7 minutes. That the Bardo of chronic illness is an opportunity. And I know there are some people who, hearing this, and certainly if I had heard this a couple of years ago, I would have, as soon as I heard that, I would have been livid and I would have told myself to F off. But when you, at a certain point, if you can make peace with your illness, whatever's going on, and you can no longer necessarily see it as an enemy, see it as a tormentor, but see it almost as a guru of sorts. Something that is subjecting you to difficulty, but that can teach you something about yourself, about your perseverance, about your capacity for compassion for yourself and for others, about what it's like to suffer. And from that can give you empathy, really, real empathy, you know, because you know what it's like. You know what it's like to be in pain all the time. You know what it's like to see the world pass you by and see your friends and people, and you know, people you know, see their lives carry on, and they're having kids and they're having success, and it's like you're kind of you're in samsara. You're in the endless loop of cyclic existence that is defined by suffering. But eventually, you start to see the sun that is behind the clouds, the sun that's always shining, the sun that is your true nature. And you have to see that. You're forced to see that because you don't want to wallow in darkness. And so that is how chronic illness is its own kind of bardo, because it is in that sickness that that the capacity for great change is heightened, because, you know, everything that you're kind of being forced into it in a way. You don't have a choice. You have to change, but you can make that choice. You have the choice to change in whatever ways, whatever small or big, but to change for the better. So anyway, I hope that made some sense. I hope everybody has a wonderful first day of fall. It's certainly glorious out here. Take it in. Create light wherever you can, however you can, for yourself and for others. Until next time, take care.